excited to be here on January 4th with a terrific lineup. It's a whole month of residency with Junior Siméon, and from Haiti, master drummer. I'm going to tell you more about him. But Haiti x New York, as well as Mizik Ayiti. Mizik Ayiti is a program that presents Haitian music. We've been doing it for a number of years. We've been lucky to be supported by foundations as well as yourselves with all of your individual donations. We are so thankful for your support always of our programs. We really can't do this work without being in community with all of you. Mizik Ayiti, oh God, has been going, I think we started Mizik Ayiti in 2010. It's one of our first programs, and we've been doing it in other venues. This year, we piloted and we started a new program where we're doing it every first Thursday of the month. And so today is the first Thursday of the month. But in addition to that, we got funding from the National Endowment of the Arts to continue our Haiti x New York residency, which is 4 artists from Haiti throughout a year are able to come to New York and spend some time here. And this is how Junior is here with us today. Also thanks to Markus for bringing up the collaboration. And I was like, well, we have to wait till we know whether the NEA is funding us or not. And we got the funding, and here we are back. Since 2019, we haven't been able to do Haiti x New York residencies fully. The pandemic, the political situation in Haiti, a lot of people not able to get visas, which they used to be able to get with support from Haiti Cultural Exchange and letters saying, hey, we want our Haitian artists to be able to present here too. The diaspora is asking for this as well. And so, whew, I am just so happy to be back and able to do this. And we have funding for the next, for the next year for Haiti x New York. So yay. So this goes on all month, and every Thursday this month you'll have the pleasure of having Junior, Markus, films about traditional drums, demonstrations about how to make the drums, performance, live performance with many other drummers that I'm sure will be joining us. So please continue to come throughout the month in celebration of Tambour Vivant. All right, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Markus, and then I'm gonna pass it on to Markus. All right, Markus Schwartz is a friend.
The end.
He was born in Cap Haitian. He's a friend.
Copenhagen Cap Haitian. It almost sounds the same.
He's a Grammy-nominated percussionist, recording artist, and educator, specializing in the traditional drum music of Haiti. As a lifelong student of Vodou drumming, Markus has deep roots in the Haitian music community and is a sought-after collaborator across musical genres, bringing his informed approach to Haitian percussion to a wide array of projects and performances. This goes on for multiple pages, but I will stop here. Markus, let's give it up to Markus. Our special guest this evening, Jérôme Siméon. Is a respected master drummer and master craftsman of Haitian ceremonial folkloric percussion instruments. Junior spent 23 years in a central role with Racine Mapou de Azor, one of my favorite bands of all time. Haiti's most famous and well-loved traditional music group. Responsible for all drum percussion instruments, fabrication, and maintenance, as well as a principal musician in the ensemble. With Azor and Racine Mapou, Jérôme has toured the world, performed literally thousands of concerts at festivals and cultural events within Haiti, and is featured on more than 10 recordings with the band. In 2021, an award-winning short documentary entitled Junior, which we'll get to see if you come back in a couple of weeks, was produced by filmmaker A.J. Willem, highlighting Mr. Siméon's dual careers as musician and master craftsman. The film is making the rounds and will make the rounds here at 5 Miles Gallery, Haiti Cultural Exchange, in a couple of weeks. Merci en pile. Thank you. Thank you. a dual language program. I will be translating from Creole into English.
Okay.
Markus will speak in English as able as you are, and then when we're asking questions, m'a traduit pour. Mais c'est pour prendre doucement pour moi, pas vrai? Okay, thank you. All right. So, Markus, you can take it away.
All right, thank you everybody for coming. I know it's soon after the new year and everybody's playing catch up, probably after hopefully having a nice time off or vacation time. So I appreciate you guys coming out. As Regine was just talking about that exchange program, bringing Haitian artists up here from Haiti, I just think that's really worth just pausing for a second and acknowledging, because it's really challenging. For the first time after pretty much, I would say, close to a 30-year relationship with myself traveling to Haiti and having people come here, for the first time I actually tried to sponsor an artist visa for my friend and brother, Junior, and it took about 8 months to put everything together that they asked for, and there was a lot of limitations on it, and it was expensive on top of that. So just to do that for one person, I'm imagining how these promoters try to even bring a band up. It's probably just really daunting at this point. And I just feel like there's so much talent in Haiti, and they're so kind of able to, you know, thank God with the internet, able to sort of promote themselves on social media and put things out. But in terms of access to artists and being able to interact with them face to face and experience what they have to offer in person, it's just getting harder and harder, and it's just such a shame that it's that way, and for all the reasons that you mentioned. So it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to be sitting here right now in this moment, starting this month, and I just want to take a pause to acknowledge that and give a hand to Junior for being here. I'm going to share a little bit about him. I'm going to speak this part in English. Junior's English is very limited. My Creole is, I would say, decent at least. I sat down with him and went through all of this already, so he knows what I'm talking about. So I don't think we need to translate it. Si pa gon moun la aswe ki parle Creole seulement ki pa comprend anglais du tout. Okay, good. All right, here we go. So Jérôme Siméon, otherwise known as Junior Racine Mapou. Junior is his nickname, and Racine Mapou is the band that he's very widely associated with. If you're a fan of that group, you've seen this face before. He's always right in the middle of the action. What I never knew about him from a distance until I met him and started talking to him is not only was he sort of the right-hand man of Azor musically, but he was also responsible for all of the instruments. And if you've ever heard that band on recordings or in person, the sound of those drums is just like no other. And so to find out that he was carrying all of that as well was just, you know, doubly compelling of an artist for me to interact with and to meet and to get to learn from and be around. So I just prepared a little bit. I'll read it. Junior, as he is known to his friends and his fans, was a prime contributor to Racine Mapou de Azor, and his work with the band helped usher in a mass appreciation amongst the Haitian as well as global audiences for the style of petois drumming that's often referred to as either makaya or akaye, depending on who you're talking to. Those names are sort of interchangeable. Popularized and innovated by the band over the course of more than 25 years. Some of the innovations that Azor and Racine Mapou came up with include the use of an electronic kick or bass drum that they programmed, which would provide a heavy bottom and 4/4 beat underneath the syncopations of the 6 to 7 hand percussionists and singers, which allowed the band to compete with full dance bands who play compas, which is the popular style of music of Haiti, as you guys all know, and to perform in festivals, stadiums, and other larger venues. That was really the main reason why they came in with that electronic aspect of the music into what was otherwise a very acoustic situation. Additionally, Racine Mapou's instrumentation includes handheld frame drums that are called the bass. This is a prime example of a bass that was just built and skinned and rope tensioned by Junior. He was telling me that he had never seen anybody put this little middle target of the spider web kind of webbing that they have here, which acts as a handle for the drum. And the bass is bent, a very thin piece of bent wood with 2 rims around it, and is typically c'est pour cabrit, always goat skin, and it sounds like this. And Racine Mapou, kind of what I was about to say about it is they kind of brought it a little bit back into visibility. It's always been in part of the folkloric music of Haiti in rhythms that they play called Mardi Gras. You guys probably heard of that, and many other sort of what they call band à pied, the groups that go out on the street and march and sing and travel. So I was saying, although once having been ubiquitous in many styles of folkloric and music, the bass had become, over time, less utilized, and Racine Mapou helped to bring them back into popularity and visibility. And in particular, there's been a movement, which is a very beautiful and creative movement, to take the parts of the bass, which are played in a family of 3, 4, 5, depending on the instrumentation, and have one person play that pattern on various pitch drums by themselves, which is a beautiful thing. But what Racine Mapou did, they brought back the idea of each musician holding one bass and playing in a line together. And if you could think about it for a minute, the amount of syncopation that can happen when you have the parts divided up amongst multiple people versus what one person can do by themselves, it just is a much richer, more intricate sound. Racine Mapou's repertoire includes original compositions by Azor, mixed with traditional lyrics from the Vodou tradition, as well as unique drum orchestrations. Steve, pas fait des autres dans le programme, attendez? Highlighting the compositions. Junior played a significant role in these drum arrangements, and he often took over the lead or mother drum duties so that Azor could sing without having to play the drum at the same time. That very often you would see Azor would kind of come out to the front. It was incredible to watch him sing and play at the same time. I've never seen anybody do it better, or heard or felt anybody do it that way. Not even better, in that level, personally. But it was always nice to see him free up and hear, somebody else come in and take over. And that was 9 times out of 10 was Junior who would do that. I don't really need the photos because we have the drums here, but I did have a few photos to share anyway. So let me just do that.
Is the TV even on?
I think so.
The drums are beautiful. Ou entre Haiti, sur Haiti avec beautiful.
Do I need to turn it on?
Yeah.
That's the one that's it.
Yeah, power. Big red button, but nothing's happening.
I'm not touching it, so.
There we go.
Sorry for the delay. So, what I was going to show.
Press on.
So, they're the bass being played by 2 of the musicians in Racine Mapou. And then here are a couple examples of the pétuo drums. We're going to be playing all these instruments tonight. All of these drums were fabricated, covered, tensioned, and created by Junior here. It just says that he's widely known in the Haitian drum circles as one of the finest drum makers in Haiti. His instruments are highly prized, and he was responsible for the fabrication and upkeep of all of Racine Mapou's instruments. There's Azor and Junior playing together. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the music that we're going to be focusing on tonight, just to give a little bit of context to it. before we do the talk with Junior himself. So I put this together actually originally for the lawyers that worked with me to help him get his artist visa approved, because they didn't know anything about Haiti, and they wanted to make sure that what we were presenting in the package was correct and in depth. And in doing that, I just realized that even folks that have been around these traditions, sometimes it's good to kind of take a step back and think about things in a more holistic way and in a historical context. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys. So they specifically asked me, what's so special about this kind of drumming? It's just drumming. Why is this drumming special? So I said, historical context and cultural significance of Petois music traditions in Haiti. Haitian Vodou, the spiritual identity and the traditions of the vast majority of Haitians, as a theological construct, has been vilified, dismissed, and or demonized, leaving our collective sense of history distorted, void of its moral and spiritual center, and incomplete. Those are not my words. Those are words of a scholar and a Vodou activist named Dorothy Desir. Some people probably know her. She was from New York. She's now actually married to the head muckety-muck of Vodou in Benin. The term Petois, now this is me. The term Petois refers to a very broad category of ritual practice, spiritual energies, and accompanying rhythms, dances, and songs within the tradition of Haitian Vodou. There is a dichotomy which is often evoked in studies of Vodou, that one half of Vodou practice, called Rada, is cool, and the other side of the Vodou practice, called Petois, is hot. This is an oversimplification, and at times lends itself to discussions, even amongst Haitian scholars, that Rada is a force of good, and that Petois is nothing more than their evil counterparts. I've heard people say that, I've read it in books. This is a major falsehood that does not do justice to the complex, diverse, and multifaceted spiritual world of Haitian Vodou. The entire God versus Satan or good versus evil paradigm is not even part of the Vodou worldview. Vodou wisdom holds that all energies can be directed or used in positive or negative ways. The Petois rituals often deal with urgency, immediacy, healing, protection, and transformation. They are often misrepresented as being completely violent or even evil. In fact, the Petois rituals use defensive and offensive magic and can help to obtain justice for someone who doesn't know where the next page is, who has been wronged. There are many Petois rituals based on the themes of purification and protection. All of these things I'm talking about you can hear in the lyrics of Racine Mapou. The oral history of the Haitian Revolution clearly includes many references to the contributions of the Petois ritual energy, whose ancestry can be traced to the Congo influence in Haiti. And not just influence, but the Congo ancestors from the Middle Passage. Petois in Haiti clearly exhibits these Congo roots, and there are many Congolese retentions in the Petois culture and ritual language. I just took a look at some of the songs and looked up some words that just sounded like they must have come from the Kikongo or Bakongo tradition, and sure enough, it's a one-to-one match when you start looking at it. The biggest one, Simbi, in Congolese lore, is a protective local nature spirit who inhabits rivers. When they are in the river, they're called Bisimbi Bimasa, or when they're on the land, they're called Bisimbi Binseke. And in Haiti, you have Simbi. You have Simbi in the water and Simbi on the land. It's a one-to-one thing. The Simbi spirits are highly prevalent in Petois and could easily be considered the patron spirits of Azor and Racine Mapou. A good portion of their material is dedicated to Simbi, and in talking with Azor, it was very clear that that was his patron saint, or his loa in particular. Nganga, which is another word, means spirit worker or priest, and Simbi Ganga is one of the head of the spirits of the Simbi clan, the Simbi family. Bila, which you hear before every single Racine Mapou song, Bila Bila. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's pretty obvious. A Bantu language spoken in the Mambasa territory of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Bila Bila Congo. Makaya, as I mentioned, it's actually one of the names that they sometimes call the style of drumming. There's also Simbi Makaya. In Kikongo, it means medicinal leaves. In Haiti, it's not that far off. And then the last one is the word samba. A lot of people who might be familiar with Brazil think of samba with an M, but in Haiti there's samba with that soft N sound in the back of the throat, which in Haiti is a traditional song leader, a composer, and a carrier of traditions, and Azor is considered among the very finest examples of a samba in the history of Haitian music. In Kikongo, it means to shout with insistence. So I thought all of that was just good context to have to look at the Congo roots of this music. These drums are clearly the sort of ancestors of what we call conga drums now, Congo, conga. I don't know if that's a direct one-to-one. The last thing I want to do before we start is just let you hear and feel a little bit of Junior and his connection with Azor, because it was a really special one. In 2003, he went to Japan plusieurs fois, c'est pas vrai?
Non, Azor fait 12 voyages, moi et mon seul femme d'aller.
Okay, Azor went 12 times.
To Japan?
He got to Japan.
Yeah.
He went once, but in that one time they did a bunch of different things, and one of the things that I thought was really special is they did some duets with just the two of them playing and Azor singing. And I have some of that footage. I just wanted to share it with you guys.
This footage that you're showing us, Markus, is it available? Is it on YouTube? Where
I
is it
sent
from?
away to Japan to find it, so it's a little hard to find.
Okay.
The guy who owns this club was luckily enough, he recorded it on DVD and then he said it was for sale, and I tried to buy it and I couldn't get it, and actually when the filmmaker, who will be here on the 25th, his name's AJ Wilhelm, when he was making the film about Junior, he reached out to me just to ask if I had any archives of Azor, which of course I did, but I also told him about this guy in Japan, and he was able to, I guess maybe because he was making a film, get this footage.
Okay, I see.
He's
Should we do one more before we talk?
Yes.
All right.
Markus, thank you for sharing those. Thank you. Yeah, very nice. And like as you said, we don't have access to this kind of footage. It's not available to the public. So thank you for bringing it to us and sharing it, providing that kind of context. Merci, merci. Yeah. Donc, je vais poser 2-3 questions.
Oui.
Ok, je vais poser 2-3 questions. Markus a posé 2-3 questions et puis nous-mêmes avons l'opportunité pour nous poser 2-3 questions tout. Ok. Et je voulais que vous remonté dans le temps pour dire décrire nous première fois que vous rencontrez avec Azor et qui est-ce que tu as déjà joué tambour avant ça? Comment tu es intégré et groupe là? Et remonter dans le temps pour décrire nous et tant ça, espace ça. I asked him to go back in time to let us know when he first started drumming, when he first met Azor and kind of like just describe that time for us so we can have an understanding of how he first launched his career as a drummer. I know, paquet bagay.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Bonsoir.
Bon, non, moi c'est Siméon Jérôme, c'est ça l'état qu'on est. Mais ça, pour nous, la carrière qu'on est les juniors.
My name is Junior. My formal name is Jérôme Siméon, but they call me Junior.
Yeah. Avant, j'ai intégré Racine Mapou de Azor. J'étais dans Kiwo Saint-Joseph. Mais maman, c'est mon qui est dans l'église. Et moi, j'étais dans l'école, j'ai toujours organisé fête théâtre, bail théâtral pour fête des mères. Quand on est à la maison, j'ai besoin de monde qui pour battre tambour dans fête la cap fête là. Et yo pas de cacher notre petit monde dedans qui ka frapper on bagay mais pas de tambour non beau kit yo ba nous pour nous frapper li. Qu'on a tout petit monde yo essayé, yon ba bon. Moi même quand arrivé sous moi, m'a essayé et puis tout bagay marché et puis tout nous fait théâtre là normalement jusqu'à ce que fête là, li fêter.
He started out with a group called, remind me again, the name? Kiwo Saint-Joseph. And his mother was religious, didn't really want him to be part of that group, but he was at a school that there was going to have a party, a kermesse, a party, and they were looking for drummers at the time. And all the kids, they didn't even have a drum, they used a bucket, and all the kids came around, but none of them could really play, and he shows up and he was able to play. Yeah, so there you go.
Après ça, après tout bagay ça yo, moi vinn dans l'église avec maman dans l'église protestant, mais il y a un instrument le cymbale qui couvre des bords, batli avec un bâton qui a un boule. La dani, les mamans viennent à l'église avec moi, t'es bon monsieur qui a joué cymbale dans l'église. Chaque les malins toujours regarder monsieur qui a joué. Quand il y a là les jeunes na fête, monsieur va venir au de qui monde qui a kembe cymbale là. Les mal essayé et puis tout kembe cymbale là. Jusqu'à ce que je marche dans l'église à battre cymbale.
Okay, so his mother took him to a Protestant church, and there was a musician that was there playing an instrument called the cymbal, and he watched him and assisted and kind of like paid attention, and one day this musician didn't show up and he got to play, and from then on he went from church to church playing the cymbal.
Yeah. Et moi-même c'est nèg ça dit m'pa jamais cacher ça côté me sorti c'est fait dans Kafoutois lycée matin moi grandi en dans Cité Soleil c'est nèg Cité Soleil. Et ta que j'ai dit à zone ba fait moun toute promotion de lever avec tout mourir mais moi même bon Dieu te font choix pour moi il te ban l'autre chemin parce que moi même pas jamais influencé de rien comme si qui pas normal qui pas marcher ensemble avec moi viens quitter comme si exactement étant dans la cité on était dans l'Into viens quitter l'Into malgré nos zones que les cité Gérard l'aime sorti cité Gérard malgré dans Bois-Neuf viens rencontrer avec un personnage qui est les Monze monsieur Mouri. L'aime venir dans zone je me suis organisé bagay fête théâtrale encore. Yeah.
So he doesn't hide where he's from. He's proud to be where he's from, Cité Soleil. Zone dis-moi encore.
Et Cité Soleil.
Oui, mais on dit
zone pas fait moun.
Oui, comme si tant que yo toujours dit zone pas fait moun pour être Cité Soleil, gen moun l'autre dit c'est mon Cité Soleil, il garde comme bandit.
Okay. A lot of the people he grew up with have passed, but he was able to stay strong, and then he ended up meeting somebody whose name, comment mon narele? Monze. Et Monze, ça le fait avec vous.
Quand il allait arriver dans zone là, moi je me suis organisé bagay fête théâtrale. Ça veut dire pour 24, 25 jusqu'à fête des mères tout, il organiser tout bagay ça. Les arrivé dans zone là, so monsieur a chercher monde qui pour jouer tambour. Moi même na regarder. Ça veut dire c'est pour montrer au côté tambour à sortir, c'est pour un bagage que me lever là-dedans. So moi comme toujours dit, c'est pas moi même qui chercher tambour, c'est tambour qui choisit moi. Ça veut dire mon parcours ensemble avec lui. L'aime fin river dans Bois-Neuf, les monsieur vient faire bail pièce théâtrale là, les mal regarder, élément qui pour te venir jouer tambour ali pas venir. Qu'on a là yo fait me kembe, l'aime kembe bon vinn bagay monde qui ka remplacer place moi encore.
So Moze, this person that he ended up meeting who also has passed away but was doing all of this theater work for Christmas up until Mother's Day, kind of bringing people together around les fêtes théâtrales, so theater, you know, and he never sought the drum. It's the drum that came looking for him in every single instance of his life, and that's how he was able to kind of continue to develop his skills.
Yeah. He also just mentioned that he made himself indispensable, which I find to be a theme of his life, because he did the same thing with Racine Mapou. We'll get to that story, but just remember that theme, because I've heard this before.
Mais tout bagay ça aussi à partir de 89 à 90, 91.
1991.
Ya, on commence à entrer dans gros bagay yo. Gen un gars dans zone qui relé bon, qui gon ban rara. Qu'on a chaque les ban rara sorti, toujours à regarder, m'a kembe fait, m'a kembe l'autre bagay jusqu'à ce que me vienne dans kembe tambour. Mais vraiment grand expérience moi c'est en 92, gen un père qui relé Père Joseph qui gen une grande école qui c'est dans projet Douya. Qu'on a eu un folklore qui est les troupes mandarines de Don Bosco été formé, qu'on a cherché monde dans zone là, monde qui pour danser, monde qui pour jouer tambour, qu'on a des amis qui viennent chercher, qui même bail mon yo, qu'on a l'am vinn intégrer dans groupe là. C'est vraiment première grande expérience moi dans tambour même.
So while he was doing the things in the churches and these fêtes théâtrales, in 1992, he met a gentleman by the name of... Qui l'école?
L'école là, ça dit Troupe Mandarine de Don Bosco.
Troupe Mandarine de Don Bosco. And this really was the very first kind of bigger, larger experience that he had was in 1992, starting to play with them. Rara, you know, fait, cornet, but he was on the drums, you know, he was on the drums, yeah.
C'est dans troupe ça tout, moi vinn rencontrer avec uns amis qui les papi. Mais Haïti, peut-être monsieur Mess, il y a balotino que les Okoko, non artistes, parce que Mess. Et c'est là, et c'est monsieur tout.
Bon, I'm not translating that one, that's
I don't know how you're going to
Zokoko, it's okay, Zokoko is Zokoko. It stays that way.
Là, et pour nous, c'est toute une mission, oui. C'est monsieur guider avec Bodier de mettre sur route, moi. Là, monsieur vient rencontrer ensemble avec moi dans la troupe mandarine, mais la fille m'a parlé de la tambour ça. Là, vient rencontrer avec monsieur, vient jouer, là ça vient rencontrer un paquet de grands tambourineurs qui comptent jouer, qu'on a fait expérience, m'a entré dans bagaille yo. Ça c'est en 92. Et les Azo séparé avec Wawa, qu'on a formé Racine Mapou en 94.
In 1994, well, he met this person by the name of Papi, Zokoko, and that
He was skinny.
Because he was skinny, yes, because he was skinny. That was his nickname. And in 1994, when Azor was separating the band, kind of disbanded, if you will, from Wawa and Azor, and he met with Azor at that time in 1994.
Yeah. L'ai venu rencontrer avec monsieur.
Mais comment vous songez première rencontre?
Oui, la première rencontre avec monsieur c'est dans troupe, mais dans même troupe ça m'a dit là, troupe mandarine parce que exemple oui papi parce que troupe ça en pile gros tambourinaire passer là-dedans parce que c'est celle troupe qui te gagne, c'est tout c'est bon pelleter, tout nèg besoin vinn passer là-dedans. C'est dernier qui te compte jouer tout, nèg ça te compte jouer en pile. L'aime vinn ouais, l'aime vinn jouer avec monsieur, nous vinn amis. Kounya pour m'expliquer bien. Par contre, si il y a des gens là qui connaissent, qui étaient Haïti, qui étaient songés en côté que les Jésus miracle, Boutilier, il y a Mambo qui était qu'on fait jeune Marie-Louise. So pendant que dormi, vous connaissez époque longtemps tout, c'est celle radio Haïti intègre qu'on passe vaudou. Comme si pour mon temps d'on bail vaudou, c'est en cachette pour attendre, il pas live comme ça. Mais moi-même, chaque après-midi, tant que j'ai besoin d'entrer vraiment dans le domaine racine, je toujours prendre petit bouquet de peinture, mettez de l'eau là-dedans, demi de l'eau qu'on a pour me chavirer, les boucher me chavirer, li boit son tambour. Chaque après les m'attend des vaudou, moi-même m'a joué avec Bokit là pour m'entrer dans le système racine là même.
Okay, wait, pause. Wow. I'm doing my best. This is 1994 now. Papi really introduced him to Azor, because that band that he was a part of, everybody wanted to be a part of it, right? Because they were really terrific, he says, amazing musicians that were part of that group. And so he met Azor at that time. And then he segued. He didn't go too deep into the meeting with Azor, but he said that at the time you couldn't listen to Vodou on the radio. There was no Vodou playing on the radio, traditional Vodou music. The only radio was Radio Haiti Inter, that was led by Jean-Dominique. And so at 4 o'clock, when they would play the songs, he would turn on the radio, hide. You'd have to hide because it was not seen as something people should do. And he would take bucket of paint. I can't translate bucket. Bucket, can. It's a can. A can. Oh, mommy, it's a can of paint. Fill it with some water and turn it upside down because that made the same approximate sound as a tumble. And he'd get on the radio and practice with the radio and his cans of paint until he yeah.
Pour m'entrer dans Racine Mapou, c'est pas un bagage comme ça. C'est dans dormi au voyez dans Racine Mapou. Moi dormi, moi rêver, moi ouais c'est Jésus miracle, maman laver, maman qu'on a dans Sion ensemble avec moi. Pendant que je dormi, moi rêver Jésus miracle, moi tout le monde couché dans sous mon à terre, tout des blancs. Qu'on y a la même pendant que je marcher côté mon yo couché, qu'on a regarder mon paquet tambourada, mais c'est qu'on y a me connaît c'est tambourada, une pote qu'on connaît si c'est tambourada. Lem gade tambourada yo, lem gade en bas yo comme si yo pas gen trou là-dedans yo pour vent sortir. Mais elle couvre normal, dit oh, comment mon ça fait jouer tambour ça parce que son en pas sortir là-dedans. Kounya la même, lem après rêve là, moi ni crété comme ça dans projet de ya un bon matin moi papi paraît, monsieur dit ah, Racine Mapou et Azor va former un groupe là qui est les Racine Mapou. Yo besoin moun là-dedans. Il dit, il y a un bon monde qui l'a déjà eu, on pas texté qu'on a répété ensemble avec eux. Il dit, monsieur Alon Rara, monsieur pour un coup de manchette. Qu'on y a là même, il y a besoin de monde qui pour remplacer, mais c'est vraiment formé Racine Mapou. On a monsieur dit, mais non, monsieur, on dit, mais, vous connaissez en 94, Azor sorti album, qui dit, Ganga mauvais tête, Marie, Ganga mauvais tête. L'album, ça t'est sorti. On dit, monsieur, ça m'attendait là, je ne peux pas jouer dans le bagage ça, parce que je ne peux pas arriver dans le niveau ça. Monsieur dit non, mais non. Monsieur mène un côté Azor. On a fait connaissance avec Azor. On a Azor bon rendez-vous. C'est chaque samedi on répète. Il bon rendez-vous pour me venir.
Nice. Yes. Wow. He said, yeah, entering into the band, becoming a band member wasn't something that was simple. It started with a dream. Iwesana dormi. He saw it in his sleep. And the dream was a lot of people dressed in white and a lot of drums all over the place. This is what I'm seeing. And except that the drums didn't have the holes in the bottom to let the sounds go through. He was like, how are they even playing? He wasn't sure how they were playing. In any case, when he woke up, he got introduced to Azor. And well, a friend of Azor's, because one of the drummers, right? One of the drummers, you got to help me if I'm forgetting. One of the drummers got cut by a machete, cut, and so he was not able to play. And so they called him, his friend called him, and he said, you're going to come and play. And he said, oh, the album, Azor's album had just come out in 1994. He had already listened to it. And he said, I can't play. I'm not that good. I can't. There's no way I can play. And he said, don't worry, come. And so every Saturday he started going and rehearsing with Azor.
One other piece of the dream, did you talk about the drums, how they were covered with no holes on the bottom?
I did.
The sound?
I said that.
Okay. All right, I missed that part.
That's okay.
I'm trying. I'm multitasking, brother. I'm doing the best I can.
Wait, you're multitasking or I'm multitasking? Who's multitasking?
No.
Go ahead. Allez. Oui, ou capable.
Kounya la, les Azor fin pour rendez-vous avec moi, pour me capable vini dans Jazan. Zami m'a arrêté juste dans une zone que les cités militaires, mais moi-même m'habiter en dedans pour Jerdouya. Chaque matin, monsieur vini, il vient faire répétition avec moi. Même pas gain tambour la caille moi te gain on grain basse, mais ça allait même y aurait nous le basse, mais dans l'église yo fait là avec tol, y aurait le tambourin. Son grain tambourin me gain la caille moi. Chaque matin monsieur vini, on a pour mettre dans jambe pour monsieur pour me râler tambour. Et monsieur fait ça pendant plusieurs semaines, il fait ça. Après ça, un jour que monsieur a mené dans Racine Mapou, mené un jour samedi pour aller en répétition. Les gens viennent en répétition, tout le monde est là parce que c'est étrange, je ne reconnais pas. On a pendant papi chita, papi dit, Azo dit, émission Ménia, il dit oui. Il dit, on ne va pas chita beaucoup, monsieur, on ne va pas mener les tout de bon côté, on va quitter ma dé avec pour moi ça n'est pas fait. Mais on a vient paniquer parce que beaucoup vraiment non mais parce que si ça avec papi, on a fait bagaille parce qu'on est monsieur café, mais les m'a regardé Azo pour un tambour, il fait papi sortir. Il prend un tambour, il bon mon tambour, il dit belle fleur, vient chita là et là, qui sont café, qu'on a pendant monsieur a joué, et puis tout m'a joué ensemble avec lui. Gon bagay moi fait, l'autre frère a dit, refais encore. Moi même pense que c'est femme fait, il pas bon, mal fait l'autre je lui dit non,
c'est pas ça de faire.
Bon, c'est pour retourner refaire encore. Après ça, il me répéter avec Azor et les papiers. Il dit, ah, papi, mon cher, on est Racine Mapou et on choix le grand-papa, pour n'importe qui vient monter. Il dit, mais quand même, toujours marcher avec monsieur, on est toujours venu là avec monsieur.
Nice. Yeah. So Papi and Junior live far from each other, but still, Papi would come every Saturday, chaque samedi, chaque samedi, every Saturday to teach him. Maybe it took him an hour and however long, but he didn't have any drums at home. All he had at home was one of these, but from the Catholic church with the metal around, which is a tambourine. And Papi was showing him, and he was playing on the tambourine, and then he ended up bringing him to practice with Azor. He went to sit down. He got kind of intimidated, didn't know anybody there. And went to sit down next to Papi, and Azor was like, "Oh no! You know, you're not sitting next to the guy who brought you here. You need to come sit with me." So he came to sit with him, and he started to play, and you know, I think he was playing, and he played something that he thought was a mistake. Somebody was like, "Start this over," you know, or play that again. And he thought it was a mistake, so he played something different, and he told him, "No, play what you were playing before," and he played it again. He second-guessed himself, essentially. But yeah, do you want to jump in with a question, Marcus, so that we're not, you know, like now we're at the point where we've met Azor, he's practicing with him. Do you want to jump in with a specific question? Or are we storytelling?
Yeah, he's about to get to a crucial part of this history.
Okay, so let's...
But one thing that I have, which we could do after, it just so happens that, I don't know, I'm so malad, so I'm always looking for stuff like this, like I showed you guys. And there's this YouTube channel called Bambosh TV. If you haven't checked it out, they're putting out all kinds of incredible old stuff. They have Mano Charlemagne with like a big, huge orchestra with like 20 drummers and Bito Vaobaz, like just a guitar player in his band. There's all kinds of crazy stuff, but they actually posted like a whole long Azor concert right at this time after Azor left Wawa. I've never seen any footage of this era of the band before, and Papi is playing this before Junior could hang.
Okay.
He was coming. This is right in this time he's talking about now. So I thought I could play a little bit, so just to get the vibe. Can you turn that back on?
Can we have some questions on his presentation and the relationship between him and Azor?
Absolutely.
Technical.
Absolutely.
Okay, one question is about you all. Une question c'est causer rapport Congo avec causer en Afrique, la communauté de gros comme ça. Et rapport en Haïti en pétrole avec Congo.
Oui.
Quand on mettait dans Bala, est-ce que vous connectez le tout avec l'Afrique? Parce qu'en Afrique, on a un gros temple dans Bala, qui ont même dit tout ces ouvertures, c'est dans Bala sorti. Et puis le fini, il y a tout un rituel sous dans Bala qui sont spirit couleur. Ouais. Même Jean Dapmada.
Oui.
Est-ce que dans le rapport Petro avec Congo, où est ça? Ça, c'est la première question. Deuxième question, le m'a tendé. Le m'a fait rapport entre lui-même avec Azor. Ça m'a tendé. Ça qui vibre pour moi, c'est lui-même. C'est pas Azor. OK? Est-ce que le rapport avec Azor, le Azor fait c'est Azor performeur.
Yeah.
C'est Azor qui est important. Mais Azor n'a rien sans backup là. Le nous faisons musique, est-ce que nous entraîner que Azor performe comme ça et pour même moi faire backup là? Ouais, comme si qui j'en backup la vini qui j'ont associé backup qui sont backup avec ça Azor à faire. Qui j'ont associé. Troisième question, c'est causé Tambourino. C'est causé Tambourino qui sont une question. Parce que Tambourino, on joue en pile dans l'église protestante ici. Est-ce que nous avons une explication?
Bon, je vais prendre en première, je vais pas mettre deuxième.
Est-ce que nous avons une explication?
Can you do you're gonna do it in
Dans
English,
l'église
the response?
protestante chrétienne,
But then he
avec
won't understand what you're saying. Okay.
Il y a plus de monde qui peut parler créole.
dans l'église protestante ici, il faut poser
Plus moun parle créole là.
Ok. So, n'a qu'un mélange créole.
Okay, okay.
Ok. Pour sous causer d'en bas là et en dans Petro bien en tradition ça. Pour Jean-Moël et puis je ne suis pas un expert dans le domaine, non? Mais pour moi-même, c'est deux pays différents. Vous avez dit Bénin, c'est un pays d'Aomé, et c'est là en pile tradition Rada sorti, et dans là c'est chef Rada yo. So c'est là le sorti. Congo, l'Ibaï Petro c'est une autre famille, c'est une autre nation. Tout c'est en Afrique, mais c'est dans plusieurs côtés.
Donc, de Bala, pas Congo.
Non.
De Bala, c'est
Rada.
C'est Rada, c'est
De
Daon.
Bala, c'est Rada.
C'est le en français.
Oui, dans le rituel là, dans la classification loyaux,
Ok.
sont loi Rada.
Ok. Et deuxième question, entre lui-même avec Azor.
Vous pouvez me parler de rôle basse fait dans la musique?
Parce que non, il dit que ce qui comme si nous répéter un bagage pour les nous quoi le font. Exemple, il y a des bagages où attendez que n'a fait. Pas quoi nous ca faire répétition pour eux, son bagage mystique. Et nous qu'on répéter, nous qu'on a préparé un album ou bien nous pral jouer un bagage n'a répéter, ça nous fait dans répétition, exemple un carnaval ou bien un album n'a bagay répétition nous fait qu'on arrive dans studio bagay la li gagne nan men nous ça veut dire nous vinn pas mettre tête nous encore c'est when n'a foncer n'a improviser une série de bagay mais grand pile moun Haïti qui connaît tout tambourine qui dans Racine Mapou c'est Azok montrer au jouer non. No.
So the question was, what was his relationship with Azor in terms of being more of a backup performer? You know, Azor was the lead and singing and being a backup, and kind of like, were many of the performances rehearsed? There was a question around that, and he said,
how do you synchronize?
How do you synchronize? Yeah, and he said a lot of it is spiritual, is mystical, is spiritual, and a lot of improvisation at the same time as well.
Et puis tout, là m'a préparé visa, application visa pour monsieur. Je commence à essayer de calculer combien de spectacles Racine Mapou de Azor fait. Juste longtemps, 22, 23 ans, monsieur dans jazz là. Depuis que je passé 3000, I gave up.
Okay.
So,
they performed over 3,000 times in the past 20 years. Plus que ça, yeah.
Parce que m'entré dans jazz à 17 ans, me fait 23 ans là, je me quitter le m'entré 94, me quitter 2017.
Répétition pas là-dedans encore.
Yeah.
So
just the carnival, how many hours in those 3 days? They play all night long, 3 days in a row on the shop.
They always the last.
And the biggest.
I have a question. One question. Cette discussion
Yes.
Discussion. Nous jouons avec lui. Monsieur, il y a pas de classique. Il fait classique tout, mais il joue you know, tambour traditionnel, nous même toujours dire que, il dit comme ça, lui-même, il va dans la religion, même, il va dans la spiritualité.
Okay.
Même toujours dire comme ça que tambour et tambour haïtien, on va souvent faire un peu dans tambour et pour immerser, pour venir dans la culture, et pour gagner spiritualité. Si on ne peut pas faire ça, on n'est pas capable de faire. Est-ce que ça est vérité?
Chaque nègre, bon, on va parler des tambourineurs, non, on va parler des tambouillés avec un nègre qui ont torgui. Les torgui sont choisis. On torgui en lui-même, nègre qui ont torgui, bon, Rénal, qui va comprendre ça, son torgui, il ne peut pas passer aucune école.
He was chosen. He was chosen.
Il y a des gens qui apprennent à jouer ou capable de jouer tambourineur, mais à part de choisir, il y a d'autres gens qui suivent, les gens qui choisissent, ça aurait le tambouillé.
Tambouillé versus.
Ils ont torgui, les noms dans cet exemple, les gens qui jouent tête tambour, même si tous les trois nègres avec c'est lui qui mené tout le bagage parce que lui qui a fait tout ça on a fait là. Quel que soit le rythme qu'il a joué, n'importe exemple, n'importe côté le river, n'importe chanter al guetta contre qui ça pour jouer là-dedans. Mais ou même qui apprend à jouer comme un tambourineur, yo bo kembe on bagay. Ça veut dire pas vraiment connaître tradition ou pas connaître parce que tambour son bagay qui sacré lié, c'est lui même qui pour chercher. De pour chercher, la vinn jouer nous oui parce que faut qu'on gagne en pile amour pour les tambour son bagay qui sage en pile. Majorité de qui joue tambour ou après les gars très sages. Mais en dalika pas bon lion oui, mais par rapport des tambours elle supposé sage. Mais garder un monde qui ont torgui avec un monde qui apprend à jouer c'est deux bagages différents.
You want to take it? You want me to take that one? So he's talking about to answer your question in sort of a generalized way. He's talking about the difference between somebody who's just a drummer, who's basically there to learn and is given parts to hold and is learning in that learning process, versus somebody who was predestined. Either they were born into a family of drummers or for whatever other reason, the spirits chose this person to be a drummer. That's what he said, the choisi or the tambouillé. And then he talked also about the untogi, which is a ceremonial drummer who's playing the lead drum in the ceremony and knows not only what all of the drums need to be doing, all of the percussion needs to be doing for every song and every ritual aspect of a ceremony, but also knows every song and every dance and every way to support all of the activity that's going on. And you also have people who have reached that level that can go from temple to temple and do that in diverse places when they're not always the same way. So that's some of the difference. But he also said that the drum itself is a sacred instrument, and by connecting with that drum, you're connecting with the sacred instrument, and that you can and hopefully will open yourself up to that so you can go deeper into it. And he talked about the effect that being a drummer has on the person, on the personality. Somebody might be a very intense person on the inside, but they have a certain amount of wisdom that comes with learning this repertoire and also learning how to interact with other people. He often tells me, like, one mark of a true professional drummer is they could go into a gig or a ceremony with people who can't play very well and know just the thing to give them that they can handle and stay with to support what's going on, and that the people who are enjoying the moment or dancing or doing whatever they're doing to the music, they're not in any way like it's not happening, even though if you put that person there by themselves there would be nothing happening. But you just know how to work with people, how to support them, how to push them a little bit so that they're learning, but also not give them too much where everything's going to fall apart.
Excellent. You're going to share your Bambosh TV?
Bambosh. A little bit. This is the era of Azor. I was always captivated by this history without getting into the Zen too much of like Azor and Wawa splitting up and you know, it's sort of like Bukman and Bukangine. Like those things are compelling because it produces competition, and it produces two great groups where there was once one great group, and out of competition people rise to the occasion and come with sometimes their best stuff, whether it's a rap battle or whatever you're talking about. So in this instance, you know, he was talking about how he was coming around right after Azor separated and decided to make Racine Mapou. I don't know how much after, peut-être ou ka identifié dans époque ça, ça me voyait ça pour déjà. Et pour moi même, il semblait même époque où on parlait. le rasoir séparé, et puis il mettait goupli, oui. Et puis nous, ouais, papi cap râler dans jazz là, et puis ou pas même là-dedans.
Non, beaucoup là.
All right, cool.
So like early 90s.
This is like 45 minutes and the whole thing is hot. Before Junior got there, sometimes they were playing on conga drums. Saying. That's Papi. Zokoko. Namita.
Namita. Yeah.
So he's in the choir.
No, derrière, net.
Sitting next to Azor.
Junior is not here.
No.
Nice. Now Azor stands up. That's Azor.
That's Azor.
Télévision nationale.
Télévision nationale.
Ah, monsieur son supporter de... Oui, monsieur Mouri, oui. C'est les Fresnel.
Les Fresnel?
Non, supporter mes frères. Azagem des frères dans Jazala.
Anyway, we go watch that for 45 minutes.
I know.
That's on YouTube. You can find it.
That we can find.
Junior, quand Azor sorti,
Azor lui-même c'est moun de côté. Papa Azor c'est moun Léogan. Maman Azor c'est moun Tigouave.
Okay, Léogan and Tigouave, Azor's family.
Mais esprit qui choisit Azor c'est Tigouave lui sorti. Dans zone qu'elle est dans Dal. Non, Tokyo, oui, Tokyo. Mais Azor fait dans Kafoutoa, oui, ce matin. Renal connaît ça. Renal connaît Kafoutoa, oui, oui.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here, Markus?
I'd like him to talk a little bit about where I think he was just going next, which is bringing his drum making skills into the band.
Oui, oui, Scorpio, oui, Bakuno, Scorpio, oui, tambour.
Mes conversations ont dégénéré. On a quitté monsieur Phil parler.
Chérie.
Nathalie.
Regardez, c'est après le film qui était Scorpio, et puis tout le vient à jeune Wawa, et puis tout en 89, Racine Kanga éclaté comme ça.
Il y a un peu l'histoire, mais pour le moment, je aimé nous tendre et reste histoire, monsieur, qui j'en ai intégré dans Racine Mapou, qui pas un chemin facile pour monsieur, parce que si je bien songé, et l'autre qui était nous avant, vous dit que Azordi ou pas capable, ou pas capable. Et puis, je me songé, vous dit que il connaît le petit papi.
Oui, parce que tout le monde n'a pas de nom. Oui, tout le monde a ce petit.
Mais est-ce que vous pouvez parler de couvrir Tambour qui Jean ça t'a aidé à entrer dans Racine Mapou?
C'est ça que je suis net, oui, dans Racine Mapou. Et conseil de la suite d'avant pour parler, on a fait 20 ans, on a coupé. Et vin couvrir Tambour dans Racine Mapou, l'infinité net, ça veut dire musicien Racine Mapou. Quand il y a là un personnage qui est le Léon, mais on te pas le nom Léon Cyclone. Oui, il était lui-même qui était couvrir Tambour, couvrir basse pour Racine Mapou, il a acheté en province pour bagarre.
Mais moi, il a joué à Tambour latin en vidéo.
Oui, époque ça c'est avec latin Azot gagné la joué, mais après les jazz a vinn les bons les salles pour Racine Mapou l'état pour quand même reconnaître lui-même. So ça veut dire bon Racine Mapou pour la même. Quand il y a les Racine Mapou vinn Racine Mapou c'est Léon toujours à l'acheter Tambour, fait Tambour pour Racine Mapou et ça il qu'on fait tout, il qu'on vend Tambour. L'aime vient vraiment intégré Racine Mapou. Quand il y a là un moment Tambour poté et nous jouons côté exemple les Gonaïve nous avons joué Gonaïve nous on a un club qui est les Kaiper yo qu'on a pendant Azo a joué comme ça Tambour a desserré la fait gros colère bagay papi dit monsieur Junior qu'on couvre Tambour il dit pas vrai il dit si Junior te qu'on couvre Tambour il t'a dit ça dans jazz qu'on a dit petit ou ka couvrir Tambour ça me dit oui mais on aime tout petit dans mitan époque longtemps les Racine Mapou à côté les bon haïtien comme oui yo dit son zombie à zombie dans jazz parce que était trop petit dans mitan yo on m'a joué dans mitan avec ça oui zombie qu'on y a là l'aime prend Tambour mal la caïma avec lui m'a dem si pour le bon pour m'acheter pour me dire non avec même poa on va le recouvrir Tambour mal la caïma on fait tout ça bien pour me faire on y a on est chaque samedi on qu'on répéter m'aller dans magasin car 8h métis on était qu'on répéter parce que c'est 8h métis qui vient faire Racine Mapou salier là
comment
8h métis oui monsieur était non seulement était joueur promoteur et comme c'est lui qui t'a supporté nous faire toute bagaille net. Ça veut dire chaque vacances, monsieur a montré système, la montré tabou. Ça veut dire la faire Racine Mapou pour faire tourner avec eux pour nous capable la Gijon où nous t'es venu là. Oui, dans tout pays net étant l'entrée Jazzo et Haïti comme si les n'a fait tout parcours provinciaux. Ça veut dire nous faire
Wait. On a traduit. Yeah, I think on traduit. Il y a 2-3 personnes qui ne parlent pas créole quand même. 2-3 personnes qui ne parlent pas créole. You gonna help me out?
Yeah, I'll help you as much as I can.
Help me as much as you can.
Yeah.
I think what I'm understanding is to become a full-fledged member of the group, there was a learning period, a period of building trust, right? And so they were practicing every Saturday. He would show up every Saturday to play or to practice. And at one point, Azor's got this drum, and the drum is not working well. And Papi said, "Well, Junior knows how to fix the drum." And Azor was like, "Oh no, he doesn't." But yes, he did. And so he was able to fix the drum. So I think a lot of it was kind of learning and building trust amongst the group members. Also, he had nicknames, Tipiti, because he's small. He was smaller than the others, etc. So.
Mais le porter tambour à bail qui ça
le porter tambour dans samedi
he fixed it, yeah.
Le porter tambour dans samedi matin qu'on a pas être dans magasin moi je viens Azor de genta dans magasin qu'on a le porter tambour il dit monter en l'air avec les laptop moun yo vini qu'on a le monter avec tambour les tout jazz a fin réuni on a mis prend tambour à la PC mais la PC la mettait force sur lui pour voir comme si tambour ka kembe poids là monsieur fin ouais tambour normal. Monsieur fouillé maintenant poche li bam $200 américains avec $25 haïtiens li bam moi kounya la même li présenter me devant 8h métis dans bureau li dit lui après de jodi a pas bay Léon couvrir tambour encore Junior a couvert tambou. Mais l'aime vinn prendre ça et tant que bon on est haïtien mais c'est ça c'est ton malfaiteur de tant que j'en dit Haïti ah oui
Léon.
yeah.
So basically he took Léon's job. He took Léon's job because he did such a good job at fixing the tambour that he took Léon's job. And Azor was like, Léon, you're not doing this anymore. We're going to have him do it. And Léon apparently did not like that so much. Yeah.
Oui, kounya la, ou connaît même si monsieur pas couvrir tambour, depuis jazz a toujours retiré enveloppe pour lui. Kounya ba ça ou pral couper. Ça veut dire kounya kon vinn pousser dans tête li. Mais Azor kon qui expliquer Azor dit monsieur comme ça ouais Junior, depuis me connaît Junior mon bagay c'est ou même qui fait, il dit m'a fin avant. Avait dit depuis là tout partenaire vinn zanmim, tout connaît les grands monde et puis tout bon même puis jeune Basel et puis tout m'a modifier travail yo, m'a porter l'autre bagay là-dedans et puis tout temps pour regarder dans Racine Mapou, les Racine Mapou venir Racine Mapou, c'est moi même qui fait tout.
Mais qui j'en fait
Wait, you want to translate that before we ask her another question?
Yeah.
Ou pas dire ça.
Oui.
Well, basically he became Leon's friend after a while because Azor said to him, you know, if anything happens to him, you know, I'm going to come after you. So they became, you know, he ended up accepting him. But all of the drums of Racine Mapou were made by Junior, you know, thereafter.
And he didn't go into details, but he said he started doing some innovations on the drums and fixing them another, I'm speaking Kringlish now, a lot way. So he started experimenting, and I can say after knowing him for a few years and working on a lot of drums with him, he's still doing that to this day. It's pretty remarkable. He's always pushing himself, redoing stuff if it doesn't meet his own standards, thinking about new ways to approach different aspects of the drum build and stuff like that.
Yeah. We have a question over here. Go ahead, Nick. Or a comment.
C'est une question. Vous-même, vous savez que vous avez commencé à jouer musique dans l'église, oui? So, est-ce que vous pouvez expliquer une relation entre l'église, avec Jésus, tout bagage, avec musique, vous jouez? Et si vous pensez, personnellement, mais pour la communauté plus gros, haïtien, s'il y a une opportunité pour côté pour ça.
Bah bien entendu tout reste you know.
Et tant qu'intégration.
Intégration et connexion entre l'église avec
Vaudou. Bon Dieu.
The question was before we go into the answer.
Yeah.
The question was that he started out in the church. She started out in the church, and Nick, why don't you ask the question in English so I don't have to translate it? Go ahead.
So I asked it. Sorry, I'm dealing with two.
It's okay. You do both. Go ahead.
I asked because you mentioned at the beginning he started playing music in the church, and a Protestant church. Yeah.
Yes.
And look at him now, right? Music traditionnel, music voodoo, right? And personally, his relationship with spirituality, but also more broadly, because you're not just a member of a band, you're a leader too. So is there opportunity? I'm not saying where's that, is there opportunity? What are your thoughts on what music can do to bring patience?
Sa musique qu'a fait pour mettre les Haïtiens ensemble, que c'est vaudouisant, que c'est protestant, que c'est ça, sa musique traditionnelle qu'a fait pour mener Haïtiens ensemble. C'est sa question. C'est quoi ça m'interpréter?
OK. Il m'a dit sa musique traditionnelle la qu'a fait pour mettre Haïtiens ensemble. Bon, musique là qu'a fait un gros bagage, il est en fait déjà. Il est en mettre nous ensemble déjà. Et dans l'église où MDA, si m'était pour dans l'église d'apprêter dans l'église parce que me lève jeune maman dans l'église non seulement comme si m'était dans Kio Saint-Joseph mal dans bail protestant passé ça veut dire me vinn là me retourner là mais vinn là c'est pas me porter tête moi là c'est li kralé me vinn là Si nous pas de ça, nous t'a temps fini déjà. Ça lui remplit un gros rôle dans la vie non. Tambour, c'est ça que fait tout le monde qui l'a mais même si nous dehors, petit nous gagnons pas honte parler au tambour, monde qui connaît bien. Pas honte parler au tambour, pas honte gars comme si qui te regarder, bagay qu'a fait en bas péristilio. Si nous gagnons plus comprendre expliquer parce que nouvelle Haïti c'est eux même. Parce que ça qui dehors ça ouais qui Haïti là, moi même sorti dans différent là. Ou qu'on a exemple de pour sortir Haïti ou ville là, me demande comment faire bagay, mais quand même nous on met sous tête nous. Il y a parlé de Nouvelle Haïti, c'est pas celle pour monde qui est Haïti. Et ça fait féliciter Madame Régine. Tout le monde qui est dehors, collé mais parce que Nouvelle Haïti, c'est nous. C'est nous-mêmes. Parce que c'est comme ça pour lier. Tout pays qui développe, ça veut dire, petit yo voye dehors, à l'apprendre après ça pour retourner. Faut que nous tournions la caille. Si on est passer la caille là, c'est comme si, comme on t'a dit ça, c'est une bonne chose liée. Exemple, si on va qui camper, qui coucher comme ça là, ou met un paquet de bagages sur lui, pendant qu'on camper comme ça, tout ça pas assuré va tomber. Mais son est cap fait là, son là est cap vendre, C'est ça fait nous-mêmes qui dehors, petit nous a fait l'autre expérience, et petit c'est eux même qui pral ban nous Haïti que nous besoin là. Ça si nous pour l'église, nous prétendre dans l'église, mais il y a temps uni nous déjà parce que nous pas qu'à vivre sans ça.
Markus, that's you.
Oh Lord.
Short.
Okay. He spoke a lot about. Well, first he said that if it was just for the church, he would have stayed in the church. But the drums called him. He didn't go looking for the drums. The drums called him, and you can kind of hear that theme throughout the other aspects of the story of his life that he shared so far. And he also talked about, in terms of changing Haiti, that's all of us, and that's the diaspora continuing to teach their children about their culture and where they came from, and that in better conditions of countries that have had more freedom to develop in a more organic way, let's say, they're able to send their children out to learn and experience new things and then come back and invest in their country, and that's what needs to happen in Haiti, and that's up to all of us together, and that the drum plays a huge role in that.
And without it, we would have already
Perished.
perished.
And he commends the regime for doing the work.
Thank you. Yes, very
Can
good.
I
Wait.
ask a question just about the drums? You said you use
Parler créole et
pour dire ou utiliser pot cabrit.
Yeah.
Est-ce que le a fait tambour ou cap utiliser l'autre pot? Et puis pour qui ça? Qui différence qu'il y a à pot cabrit avec l'autre pot?
It's a technical question. Kawal asked if the drum is always made with goat skin, or are there other skins? Yeah, go ahead.
Je vais tout répondre tout de ensemble parce que maman a posé mon question, je pas dit qui j'aime faire qu'on couvre tambour, même pas pral tout bagay honnête. C'est toujours même parcours pour me entrer dans Racine Mapou, c'est ton bagay choisi malgré me terrain tambour, me qu'on a battre tambour sous bokit, même devinement un tambour, même pas de chambre moi côté à faire ça même m'pa gon famille qui me connaît yo qui connaît faire ça. Ça m'a même qu'à retracer même pour me dire côté me sortir avec lui. Et me connaît grand pile dans nous même là qui connaît tambour haïtien. Et ça ouais regarder là ça li pas rien devant travail que me fait. Qui ça me vient faire c'est ouais moi m'a faire moi modifier travail yo moi porter l'autre bagaille là-dedans. Nous yo toujours une tendance à dire tambour c'est bagaille diable. Et nous gon paquet et tambouriner, tambour permet yo voyager. Mais yo pas respecter tambour. Ou regarder africain quel que soit côté le parler ou après djembé a nous valise li bien belle. Et majorité tambourine haïtien yo dès qu'après quel que soit pays ou vieux bois tambour à kembe nan men, c'est ça que fait toujours une tendance même Haïti yo dit c'est bagaille diable. Moi même chaque jour qui joue moi gon expérience en plus dans ça. Et c'est pas seulement moi même qui fait long. Ça veut dire je pas fouiller bois, je connais fouiller oui, je pas prendre tout travail ça pour moi, m'acheter tambour dans tout pays et pendant Haïti, moi j'ai artiste qui peine pour moi pour baguette.
It's a collaborative process to make the drum is what he's saying. And that he works with a lot of different people, to the painters, you know, the carvers, to make the drum.
He gets he gets raw shells that are not ready to be covered, and then he modifies them and refines them. Yeah, but he also started by saying that this isn't something that anybody taught him to do.
Yeah,
he doesn't have anybody in his family that does it. He never saw anybody do it in front of him. He just figured it out. He listened to the spirits, that he listened to his own intuition and his own inspiration. And I've personally witnessed many times drums talking to him and him responding to what they're telling him. And that happens while he's making them. And it also happens if like an old beat up drum is sitting in the corner, he's like, oh, I can't look at that drum, it's crying out for help. You know, it distracts him. So he really has this very deep relationship with the instrument. I think you were gonna parler de Pokabui avec Pobef.
En parlant de, continuer, faire tambour. Où j'aime travail ou bien faire avec Chalciné, vous avez Chalciné.
So moi tant de Chalciné même pigo comment te dit ça. Puis gros regret que me pas de rencontrer avec monsieur. Même à cause de Markus, me touche un paquet de travail monsieur.
So Atibon is asking if he ever met another famous drum maker who was from Gonaïve, several hours to the north, and a very different style of drum making, but someone who was an elder in that community in Gonaïve as a drum maker, and who made drums for all the different temples in the area, and a lot of roots musicians have been enamored of Charles Siné's work, and he's kind of an elder in the community. Passed away a few years ago, and his drums are treasured. And he asked, Atibon asked if he'd ever had a chance to meet him or work with him. And he said it was one of his biggest regrets that he never got to meet him, and he always wanted to, but he's gotten a chance to work on some of his drums after Charles is no longer with us.
Différence qui gagne entre Pokabrit avec Pobef là, mais en province, seule différence que vous faites, tambourada, vous pas mettre Pokabrit sous lui. Vous connaissez tambourada, c'est avec baguette, vous pouvez jouer. Pokabrit là, il trop mince, vous pas baguette. Mais depuis ce tambour qui joue à main, vous même, vous mettez n'importe quoi sous lui. Mais moi-même, l'aime venir dans Racine Mapou, ça veut dire que je couvrir tambour, je mettre Pokabrit sur n'importe tambour. Par rapport à Racine Mapou, je viens différencier ce qui ça pour mettre Pokabrit, ce qui ça pour mettre Pobef. Exemple, un moment tambour comme ça, ou pas qu'à prendre Pokabrit pour mettre sous lui. Mais il y a Pokabrit africain au moins là qui presse ou qu'à mettre sur un moment tambour. Mais Pokabrit nous gagne Haïti tellement mince, sous mettre sous ça là, elle fin serré, sans besoin d'un moment tambour pas joindre.
It really depends. In essence, it depends on what the sound is, what you're looking for, and he makes that kind of decision.
No, the drum tells him.
The drum tells him, yes.
But he said that in the old days they would put, him included, would put goat skin on any drum that was being played by hands, and cow skin on any drum that's being played by sticks, which is usually rada drums for the sticks and hands with the petwa drums. One easy way to identify that is the drums that have the pegs are the rada drums, and those are the ones that usually get the cow skin. And the drums that are rope tensioned are the petwa drums, and those are the ones that usually get the goat. But he's learned over the years that rule shouldn't be applied so generically, and that it's a drum by drum decision. And I always was under the impression before meeting him that it was the default to have a goat skin on a petwa drum. So he's got 4 petwa drums here. None of them have goat skin on them. He's also said that he's found some goat skin from Africa that he's been able to get that's thicker and has more resistance and more resilience, and that will sound okay on a larger drum, but the thin goat skin that he typically finds in Haiti, not so much.
Yes. Est-ce que son a changé entre Pokabrit avec
Oui, très différent.
Is the sound different between the goat skin and the cow skin? He said yes.
Over here.
He said yes. Yes, go ahead.
Did you ever meet Frisner And if you did you have what kind of contact did you have with them?
Moi, j'aime croiser à fils né Augustin.
Est-ce qu'on croisait avec fils né Augustin?
Only in pictures, never in person.
Only in pictures, yeah. You guys are gonna play for us, Marcus?
Yeah, I think we should take like a 5-minute break.
We can.
Or so.
We can take a little break. People can stretch, get some pate, and then we're gonna let them play a bit. Yeah. And then what happens next week, Marcus? Just so people know. For those of you that missed the beginning, Junior's gonna be with us for the entire month of January. So every Thursday, yes. What did you say?
His birthday's next week.
Oh, awesome! So you're gonna come celebrate with us in the drum? I think that sounds lovely.
Definitely gonna play some birthday drums.
Yeah. So thanks to some funding from the National Endowment of the Arts, Haiti Cultural Exchange was able to reinvigorate our Haiti X New York initiative. And this year we'll be bringing 4 Haitians from Haiti to be in residence with us here in New York. And Junior is our first one, and we're so happy to have him here. Yes. Please do. Every Thursday for the month of January is all going to be about Junior and his work and the drum. Next week, Marcus, what is happening next week? Just so people know, because some people might just
Next week is going to be more of an interactive, I wouldn't call it necessarily a drum class, but it's going to be hands-on, and we will definitely break down some rhythms and give people a chance to maybe try playing some drums. Of course, that will somehow depend also on how many people show up. If you are planning on coming and you want to bring an instrument, you're welcome to. Or we have the big room next week, right?
Yes, we'll be in the gallery next week, yes.
Then you can still come along and we'll bring as many as we can.
They're going to bring some. They're going to bring some. And then the following week is a film screening. No, the following week we have a performance. Drum performance with some guest performers, and I think it's going to be really great. And then the last week, the last Thursday, we're going to be screening a film that was a documentary made about Junior, and be in conversation with the filmmaker Junior, Marcus, and all of you. So please do come. Please continue to support. Let other people know that it's happening, that this is happening. It is not often that we get artists based in Haiti for this long in conversation with the diaspora here. So I do invite you to please continue to support and tell others. Okay.
One thing I'll also mention, Junior mentioned to me last time he was up here that he always wanted to perform in Brooklyn with Azor, and he never got a chance to, so this is really important to him to be here with you guys. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Messi. That's nice. That's nice. All right, so we're going to take a little break, stretch your legs, you know, and we'll be back soon.